Welcome back. Very quickly, you'll want to re-equip the box and grab that chaff. There are claymores in that little fenced-in area that you need to avoid. So make sure your M9 is equipped here. When you get spotted, equip your box. Again, it'll keep you from getting shot and taking damage and wasting time. FA bridge is stock standard. This time you don't need the chaff since the cipher moved off. Just go straight on through. And this trip to strut F, there's a difference. Using the box again, do the double tap, run through him, hold up this guy up top, and move straight on through. EF bridge, same as normal. This time we're going to equip the box, take this corner nice and tight to avoid the claymore, and then continue in strut E. Nothing about strut E has changed since the last time we were here, so just continue on as normal. Equip the box if you feel like it, but you don't need to. Once you get up to the heliport again, or sorry, the helipad, this time you'll actually have to climb the stairs. There's no handy cutscene to do it for you. Make sure to grab that SOCOM ammo, and you'll want your SOCOM and the coolant spray equipped. And also, don't do what I just did. Once you freeze that last bomb, the Fatman fight will begin. First thing you're going to want to do is turn to the right and grab this bomb first, and get it out of the way. This will manipulate Fatman into coming up to this top portion, where you can use 4 rounds from the SOCOM to knock him down. And you can get 2 shots in with the M9 if you move fast enough, like so. And then it's just a pattern that you should just repeat time and time again. 4 shots with the SOCOM, 2 with the M9, and this will go really quick. You can usually get him down before you need to actually defuse the first bomb. And of course, once you're done with the fight, you actually have to defuse the bomb that he plants underneath himself. Simply done, just do that. And I like to preempt that codec call, which is on a timer, by unequipping the coolant and rolling straight south, or downward, whichever you prefer to say. And that'll allow you to get back into these pack of cutscenes a little quicker. I should note that earlier, when you start this little block of cutscenes after the first codec call, you can actually see into the Ames room. It doesn't really help much unless you have the Jennifer room, which is pretty rare. But it's an interesting note, and you should always keep an eye out. And after the codecs start, roll downward, and on your first roll you should be able to get your box, your BDU, and your M9 equipped all in a row. It's just down 1 on the L2 button, and then down 1 on the R2 button. No problem. This time, on the EF bridge, the route's a little bit modified, less danger of getting smacked by a claymore. Once you get into the warehouse, 2 punches will buffer you enough so that guy moves away, so you can go in and grab the AKM, or sorry, the AKS-74U. Equip that as soon as possible, and move on your way to the Shell 1 core. Back on EF Bridge, we're going to use that same route we just did, except we're going to take the left onto this the smaller bridge here. It doesn't necessarily matter on this pass how many panels you knock out, but again, rolling is always faster. Once you roll into the Shell 1 core, you'll have a codec call right away, so be prepared for that. And once you pass the second guy down the hallway, you can safely roll cartwheel once, and click the elevator button once. This is the only one we'll actually only be doing 1 click for. The rest of them will be doing 2. Once you get to the computer room, take the left path, roll down the stairs, and down the hallway. And you got to be very careful here. If you aren't, you can end up bumping into the guards here, which would be awful because for one, you'd almost certainly get an alert, and for two, your disguise falls off, and that screws with your menus. So, with the computer room done, click the button twice, wait for the elevator, and move on to B1. Once on B1, skip that cutscene first. Tap on the wall a couple times to get this guy's attention. Unequip your second slot weapon. Remember, you need the AK for your disguise, so that is a requirement. But once the guy gets out here, you can just choke him, go into first person mode, or drag him, either or, and it'll work. Now, on New Game Plus and New Game Plus Plus, Ames is in a random location, so you really have no choice but to go look around for him. The best spot for him is obviously right next to when you walk in.
You're Ames, aren't you?
But you gotta be ready for the eventuality that he won't be there. Again, there is a possibility that you'll either get the bald guy room or the Jennifer room, which makes finding Ames incredibly simple, but it's such a rarity that you shouldn't count on it. Once you get out of that block of cutscenes, you're back out into this hallway. You'll want your box equipped for this, and you'll want your M9 and your chaff grenades. Now, I fumbled a hell of a lot with my menus here, so the positioning of the guard wasn't quite right. Normally, he will walk right past you, go to the corner, just shoot out the radio, and move to the elevator. No problem. You want to throw a chaff on this room, so that this camera above me won't spot you. And make sure, as soon as you can, to roll into that guy, or else you'll spawn in alert mode. Because he is a caution mode guard, and they will instantly alert on sight. No calls necessary. And on this pass, you will want to pay attention to where your panels drop. Try not to drop 3 in a row, because that makes the roll tight later in the game. And for our third and final time into the Strut F warehouse, get seen by that guy and box really quickly, and take him out. Grab the PSG-1, and you're back out of here on your way to the Shell 1, Shell 2 bridge. Once again, use your box to navigate the corners slightly more tightly. For this pass on Strut E, just take your immediate left and box so that the caution guards won't see you. And then go straight up once you reach parallel with the door there. And on this pass through the D bridge, stay to the top path, because the top path leads to the top level, which is where the door to the Shell 1-2 bridge is. If you move fast enough, you'll still be in caution mode here, but it doesn't matter too much. And after this call with Snake, we'll be taking care of the Semtex sensors. It's really simple. There's one behind you on the wall to the, above the door frame, 2 right in front of you, 3rd on that pillar, 1 down there, 2 on the wall behind you, or 2 on the far wall, sorry. Then there's the Seagull Troll one. Gotta aim just very carefully for that one. There's not much you can do about it. You can use the PSG-1 for it if you like, but I'd prefer the SOCOM. Then you take out the one behind the flag, and the one on the cipher. If you don't feel safe doing the one on the cipher last, you can always do it first. That way, if you do mess up, it doesn't waste you all the time you spent on the rest of them. I just prefer doing it last, since it's the furthest away. So before the Harrier fight starts, equip your SOCOM, and pick up the Stinger. If you move fast enough here, you can actually get 4 or 5 shots on the Harrier, but 3 is the bare minimum you should be looking for. This fight is made incredibly easy by having the radar on. However, of course, we are using radar off. And you can get the radar for this section by the node in strut D. And the Harrier fight's all about knowing when to shoot him and how the lock-on on the Stinger works. So after you see him do that, climb down into this little pit here and take aim to this hole here. And watch this cutscene for a couple of seconds until it switches perspective, then skip it and shoot. It'll have a lock-on that you can just exploit to shoot him once extra. When it says that line, you can actually get in 2 shots. Just shoot him as soon as his reticle pops up. You'll be fine. Now on normal, you don't have to worry too much about the missile phase. You can dodge them all just by running back and forth. Very carefully, of course. I find it's easier going in a wider pattern rather than the tighter one, but find what works for you. And with that
Jack,
done,
are you all right?
we move on to the exterior section, which will be for next video.